Hello there, good morning. My name is Dani Henderson, and I am the founder of the Galactic and Spiritual Informers Connection. It is quite simply the greatest disclosure conference on planet Earth, hosted and headed with the best speakers who have all been lifelong learners, experiencers, abductees, contactees, reporters on what is happening in the galactic sphere and the spiritual sphere. There's a lot of noise about the ascension symptoms that our physical bodies are going through. There's a lot of humanity who is coming to more to awareness of inner child healing, recognizing the earth is changing, recognizing that the people who put themselves in charge of your planet, my planet, our planet, are really limited in thinking, and they have been put in a position which has largely held humanity in a holding situation, an enslavement, if you will. Now, as we, humanity, rises up into our own beautiful power, into our own true love for self, for others, into that unconditional frequency that we came from. Some of you call it God, some of you call it Supreme Being. It doesn't really matter what you call it. You know, it isn't designed just for one particular religion. That was a system created to separate all of us, but let's not go into that too much. The Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection is the greatest conference. It's happening October 20th, 21st, 22nd of 2023, and you are invited. Some of the speakers are the great Elena Danaan, who has brought such information that scientists and personnel at NASA, yes, NASA, there isn't just one source of information for what's going on in space anymore. There never was, actually. We were just programmed to believe that. We've got Elena Danaan, we've got Dr. Michael Salla. I just finished watching his latest drop on the orbs that are coming to find the crews for the arcs. Those of you that don't know what that means, there's a ton of information on space arcs. I recommend that you go to drmichaelsalla.com and look at some of his videos. He has also got a massive book series on the secret space programs, although not secret anymore, that your militaries in your countries have all been conspiring, thinking that us mere mortals can't handle information that will benefit the whole of humanity. How wrong they were. And things are coming home to roost for us, for humanity, as we come back into our own alignment, our own power, and meet at gatherings like GISIC. We call it GISIC for short, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, to be more helpful, because it is quite a long. But for me, I created the event, and it's about letting you know exactly what it does on the tin. Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection. Now, some of our speakers have been moving around. I myself have only just come back home to Kauai, one of the Hawaiian Islands. Also, the island that is reputed to be almost the last stone of Mu, M-U, Lemuria. Lemuria is an ancient, it's not mythological, it's a physical reality. It's where the first humans came when they came to the planet. There's many stories. Now, if at this point your religious programming is shutting you down into numbness and attack, look at that. Look at that. Every program that's been installed in us from 0 to 7 is really got an opportunity now to allow you to think for yourself, where did that program come from? Why is Dani triggering me talking about UFOs? And, well, you know, I'm telling you, there's a reality on your planet that you've been largely kept away from. And one of the things about staying away from UFOs and UAPs and ghosts and paranormal is because you're called either in touch with the devil, or you're called a liar or a freak or a fruitcake. Trust me, every word I've been called, whatever. Moving along, Trevor, I wanted to bring something up that lately the speakers at our beautiful conference, Elena Danaan, Dr. Michael Salla, Chris O'Connor, Tony Rodriguez, and myself, I'll be speaking for the first time this year too, all reporting and delivering evidence of our interactions with on and off planet beings who are benevolent. Of course, there are some who are malevolent, largely those have been removed. I'm talking directly about Grace, reptilians, and again, if your brain starts to go, oh my God, what is she talking about? That's okay. You get to do that. You get to question everything, but arm yourself, educate yourself by watching other people's channels and getting information, because you're robbing yourself of the greatest opportunity to really remember who you are, where you came. And if you look at some of the childhood experiences that you had, wow, what an opportunity for you to stop being fearful of things that don't make sense, or really remember and then recognize, is it a trauma screen memory that you're remembering? Is it really real? Or is it a real experience that you had as a human from being beaten by a parent, harmed by teachers, bullied by kids, and somehow you kind of installed memories that help you escape from the trauma your body is trying to recover from. Now, as a therapist, I do work with lots of different people in that regard, and it's very, very delicate work indeed. But I don't want to go down me giving spiritual sessions and therapy sessions right now. I want to stay a little bit focused on GISIC, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection. I wanted to tell you that lately it's crazy because Elena Danan and Dr. Michael Sala, Chris O'Connor, me, Dani Henderson, Tony Rodriguez, we've all been traveling. We've all been traveling across the world as far as Iran, Turkey, London, Hawaii, Oahu, middle of America. It's really been quite extraordinary. Our team, our group, we're all very much connected. We have a huddle, we all are soul connected, and we are all standing strong shoulder to shoulder with you, humanity, sharing true stories, true information, true life experiences, in order to bring to you. And sometimes in life we run into people who at first we think, oh, you're so great, you're so lovely, and people thought that about me and thought, oh my God, I need to get away from her. And that's fine, that's your prerogative. There's nothing I can or will do about that. We're all on a journey, and people are going to trigger us for different reasons, but that's so beautiful, because the triggers are the opportunities to really look, why are you pissed off? Why are you angry? Why are you attacking? Now, we know there are many demons. We've got the demon drink. A lot of people, when they drink, they are taken over. They are possessed. That's why it's called the demon drink. You are not in your body when you are drinking. Your spirit is disconnecting. Your soul is not connected to your higher consciousness. So when you drink alcohol to excess, getting blitzed, getting raw, you are in a potentially unsafe environment, because your vessel, your body, is your safe environment. There are energies that would like to manipulate that environment. So be careful when you're drinking to excess. Protect yourself when you are doing any kind of drug whatsoever. Like me, I can't even take a hit on weed anymore. I've been like that for years. You'll notice as your physical bodies are ascending, as you're letting stuff go, emotional, dense, heavy weight from your traumas. We've all got traumas, but most of us have witnessed violence, rape, attack, abuse, mental, emotional, physical, or we know people that we love so much who have, and that also has a terrible effect if we love someone and we see them suffering. But as a lot of us have been doing our inner work, and we come up and we get lighter and lighter, we realize that we can't do the things we did. Example, I suddenly went vegetarian. I went to Costa Rica. I just moved there and just came back after 2 years. Now I live in Hawaii, but I was guided soul-wise. And as soon as I got to Costa Rica, I became a vegetarian. There was no walk up to it. There was no planning. I just could no longer eat meat. And then with weed, well, you may have noticed in your own body, I just can no longer. I'm comatose. One puff, and I can't move. And so recognize if these things are happening to you too. Recognize how quickly you recover from upset or not. Are you going the other way emotionally? What work do you need to be doing? Part of our conference, GISIC, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, is to bring you all together with your family, with your soul family, your star seed family, past life family, people who just get you. Imagine sitting next to someone at a conference and saying, hey, hi there, I was abducted by reptilians, I had trauma with greys, I know that I am an Andromedan, I know that I am connected to Arcturus, for example. And that person will go, wow, that's great, I feel the same way. GISIC is a safe place, a safe container for you to come and be with your star family. And honestly, the speakers they're just world class. They are beautiful. I trust them all with my heart and soul, with my life. I trust them. We're all close. And I think that's really important too, because it's so important that you get the truth, that you are looking for disclosure. You're not going to get full disclosure online. It's banned. How many times have I lost this channel and been striked and this and that? by the boob tube bullies that run everything. I mean, they're really losing ground faster than ever. And you absolutely cannot stop, will not stop, have not stopped what is happening, which is the rollout of the truth of the history of your planet and all the systems created by personnel who do not have your best interests at heart. But it's all right. It's all right. Light wins, love wins. Is that a throwaway comment? Not really thought through? Not on your Nelly, mate. Not on your Nelly. It's my life mission. Anyway, what is your life mission? Coming to a conference like GISIC, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, could be part of your mission indeed. Now, we did it last year. We're doing it this year again, October 20th, 21st, 22nd, Orlando, Florida. Orlando, man, that is a dense place. There is so much fun and light and love and beauty there, but it is a dark, dense area. I mean, I personally would never choose to live there, but that's just me. But there's, you get that in a lot of towns, but that is one. We brought the light last year. We brought the light last year in so many ways, so many people. There was over 1,000 people in the audience, and each one of you, beautiful, beautiful, bright souls, you brought your light to that dense place, and so much has happened. There's been so much more disclosure. Because we get shut down from saying too much, of course, we have to have these conferences, but there will be no holding back. There will be no holding back. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about UAPs. Ooh, what's a UAP? A UAP is a bloody manipulation. It is a bloody manipulation. It is a manipulation created by some buffoon who is in a higher position, potentially in military or in government or somewhere like that, or maybe just one of the banking families. Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Or Unidentified Aqua Product. Or underwater aquatic phenomena. Either way, a UAP is a deliberate PSYOP to take you away from UFOs, because from children from the 50s, from the 40s, etc., we've had unidentified flying object. Now, there's a little bit of lie and truth in the phrase UAP, and the good military know that, and the good people in the government, although few and far between, they know that. There are machinery, there are craft, there are anti-gravity spacecraft that the militaries across your world have developed. You could call that from a point of reverse engineering, if you like. It doesn't really matter. But the fact remains, we do have these T3Bs, or T3R3Bs, TR3Bs. They are triangular shaped craft that have been developed from technology off planet. Now, some of you could trace it back to, well, that was the World War II, Germany, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Because right now we're in 2023. So let's have a little catch up, shall we? Now, UAPs are a PSYOP to keep you away from the fact that unidentified flying objects, if we look at potentially 50% of what you think is an unidentified flying object, is actually a military craft driven by human beings just like you and I, military personnel. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to go back down the timeline because I want you to remember this whole time, this apotheosis, this you connecting to the God part of yourself. We all have a God part to ourselves. Our soul is that God part, right? Call it supreme being, call it unconditional love. It doesn't matter. Let's stop getting lost in details. Let's focus on you. Now, the unidentified aerial phenomena, the unidentified flying objects. Remember when you were a kid and you felt, you saw, whether it was paranormal, whether it was a ghost, it was a spirit, it was a grey, it was a reptilian, it was a person, it was a man, it was a woman that just gave you a sense of foreboding. Could have been a teacher. You know, a lot of teachers across our world, school boards, they take positions of, it's not a lot of teachers, but a lot of the pedophilic operations that happen are run by a small amount of teachers that have access to our children, for example. So each and every system on the planet is penetrated on purpose by those who try to control the human populace, which of course they have failed. and they are failing, and ultimately massive, massive failures that we're all learning to take back. So as you go into your own beautiful journey, as you start to heal, which I pray you do, I hope you do, I wish for you that you do, take back the power from the inner child in you, that little boy, that little girl. Go back and trace your own route, your own experiences on your planet, that you did choose to come to. And no, you did not choose to suffer. No, you didn't. So let's let go of that. Okay, that's another PSYOP, all right? So I'll give you an example. The very first time I saw a triangular craft, I was 6 years old. My younger brother was 5. My older brother was 7. We were sitting in the car. My parents are driving. We were in Sussex near a place called, you're going to love this, Hellingly. Ugh, Hellingly is a terrible place. It's been a long time reputed mental asylum, which was a word given in the 70s to people who were disturbed in the mind. Or were they? That's for another broadcast. So we're in the car. Every Sunday we had to go out for a run in the car. So me and the boys, my brothers, would sit in the back, mum and dad in the front, driving through the very beautiful countryside of Britain in Sussex, East Sussex in England. This one particular day we're driving and it's not dark yet, it's light. It's like, I don't know, 5:30 in the afternoon on a summer's day after we've had a full Sunday lunch, which Britons love to do. And my mum goes, oh my God, is that the moon? Is that the moon? Is that the moon? And she's like, I'm straining to look out the window. And it looked like the moon was out really early, but it was kind of above our car, which was so weird. And then because you don't expect your parents to get frightened because their job is to stay calm, always stay calm and carry on. My mum starts to freak out. My dad starts to freak out. And then my mum says, oh my God. And we look and there is a black, it's black with, and it was the delta, the wing, it was a triangular shaped craft and it was black. Now that I don't believe was a military craft. I believe that was an actual off-planet craft that has since been modeled across the militaries on our planet and is known as a TR-3B. So sorry to say, some of you who see the triangular craft, you are not seeing alien craft. You are seeing on-planet manufactured craft. Now, it does have an ability for anti-gravity purposes. I mean, they create a nuclear fusion, they create a plasma that creates a skin, which we hear other people talking about, Alex Collier, Elena Denham, Dr. Michael Salla, JP. Those of you who watch our channels regular will know that. And those of you that want to know more about JP, who is part of Space Command, he is an active duty soldier, and he's been, thank goodness, giving so much information back up and confirmation of a lot of the information that Jean-Charles Moyen, who was in a space program, Tony Rodriguez, who was in a space program, Elena Denham, who is an Earth emissary, Dr. Michael Salla, Alex Collier, Chris O'Connor. We have that man to thank for the information on the moon of Mimas in the rings of Saturn. Okay, so all these informations are coming down, but you're part of this. You really are part of this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching a channel like this. You didn't just come to throw tomatoes at me. You came because you're curious, because there's something in you that needs proof, needs evidence, needs information. It's not just going to be one story of one experience you had, but if you did have an experience, count that, and then find other people who will listen, who will believe, who will support you. Not everyone's going to build a career out of having interaction with off-planet personnel and off-planet craft. Not everyone's going to build a career on, and quite honestly, who the hell would want to choose to be famous and reveal disclosure? Honestly, it is not an easy journey at all. It is not for the weak-hearted. It is not for the people who have not done a lot of inner work or therapy on themselves. And I speak from my own experience here. Anyway, so back to the TR-3B. They're everywhere. They've been on the planet for a very, very long time. And they are part of the known but secret military programs across your planet. Now, I want to make sure that I cover everything. There's so much to cover. I recommend you go watch Dr. Michael Saller's channel on YouTube. He has revealed part of the webinar he did on a lot of the metallic orbs that people are seeing, or the probes, as some people call it. This again is part of your awakening, your apotheosis, your recognition of merging with the unconditional love light, with your God light, with your soul connection to off-planet love. We're all here on a different mission of sorts, and if nothing more, it's to heal the individual, to heal you, to bring you back to inner child healing, to look at you with love, through the eyes of love, and hold you in love, and for you to look in the mirror and start loving the person looking back, to look in the mirror and forgive yourself for all the things you've said and done, to forgive that child that you were that had no power over anything that happened to him or to her. And perhaps that built you into a strong but angry, attacking, I've certainly gone through that journey myself too. Now and again, I'll still have a little pop. It's part of being human. So with the knowledge that the military have craft that has come from upstairs, that they fly around pretending they're all this alien nonsense, let's have a bit more of a grounded, commonsensical attitude towards it. Let's not be in awe of UFOs. Let's not be in awe of motherships. There are many. Even the governments across the planet are now admitting, reporting, and saying out loud, oh, we think there might be a few motherships in our solar system. Really? Oh, really? Oh, shall we start believing you then? Or are we a bit more savvy than that? We already knew that. Excuse me, mate. On the smelly telly, that's old news. Bye-bye there. Move along. You're out of time, dude, but far, far ahead than that. So I also wanted to remind you again, I have said this so many times and I'll keep on saying it, mate, as we come to understand the true reality of this planet that we live on, you are going to remember the name Solar Warden. Solar Warden is a military craft, a massive, massive mothership that is launched into what we call its above geostationary orbit. So I was in the space industry for some years. So I came to, and it's funny how you go through your own life and you go, why was I a radio journalist? Why was I a journalist? Why was I a broadcaster? Why did I go to school for that? Why did I work in the space industry for so long? Why was I a children's nanny? Why did I train as a therapist? All these things, they dovetail into where you are now. It's just amazing. So look at your life and just go down that journey of you, because you're so important in this time of ascension, apotheosis, awakening, whatever you want to call it. So the Solar Warden, every single country on our planet, my planet, your planet, our planet, its military has an agreement with the American military. And each of those countries has its own space unit, spacecraft, meaning that it can go off planet through the Earth's atmosphere, above and beyond geostationary orbit, which is where all the satellites, telecoms, broadcasting situations are. And it can go above there, geostationary orbit. And is largely there to protect us. There's a lot of satellites up there, a lot of traffic. It's said now that between each satellite from each country, each company, there's a 4-second timing where they can bump into each other. Now let's not make that a fearful thing. Okay, all right, let's not make that a fearful thing. It's been happening above you for years. You may have only been hearing it now for the first time. There are things in place. Ooh, there are things in place, Kauai and the sudden rainstorms, that have been protecting you and protect your safety. So don't go into drama and panic. There's really no need. I mean, we are in 2023 and we've gone through all of that. And now we're all waking up to the fact that we are magnificent. We all came back here for certain reasons. Now, I want to go back into the fact that China, France, Russia, can we just not give everything to do with Russia to the bloke who runs it? Can we just not give all of the, accordance to anything America to the president before the one the old man there now. Can we just remember you? What about you, friend? What about you? Huh? What about you? I've lived in enough countries to know and see and witness a beautiful, beautiful humanity. We are all connected. There's no separation. I don't have a country myself. I am a global citizen. You know, I'm now living in Hawaii. I just left Costa Rica. Before that, I was living in California. We get to do this. We get to find and create ways to do this, okay? Because you are very important. You didn't come here to go to college if you could, come out with debt, get a mortgage. It's just a system, a structure to keep you small. Solar warden. All of the countries on the planet have their own military craft, spacecraft that is capable of going up and off and docking on to solar warden. The joke of this drives me nuts. I have to stay calm. Take a breath, Dani, nobody cares. Okay, so I don't know why we're still using rocket thrusters and rocket launchers. I want to sit Elon Musk down and put him across my knee and say, mate, enough. Just again, to let you know from the people who will be speaking at the Galactic and Spiritual Influence Connection, that there are parts of Mars that are populated from people on our planet, on Earth, humans. There are parts of Ceres who have humans on them. There are parts of the moon that have military and humans on them. So you, my friend, are lied to on every level, from your governments, from television, from media, from broadcasters. Now, why would they lie to you? Because they have no interest in you recognizing how incredibly powerful and beautiful you are. They have no desire for you to find out that there is trading of different currencies, minerals, people that happen on and off this planet. Although, as the reptilians of the Greys have had their asses well and truly handled on many levels, we are now open to the light that comes in that is helping you in your own internal great awakening. You know, I would ask that we all try to stop fighting, and that people that have had positions of power, people that we've been watching for years who say they are part of disclosure, the groups, the MUFONs, and this, that, you know, some of those type groups who have been claiming that they are all about telling the truth about UFOs, sit on your bottoms and take a time out, because you have been shown to prevent the truth. And why on earth would people who have been regarded as connected to government, a bloke in England, for example, last name sounds like dope, why would that man go on and make scary videos? I was in England last week and I saw a scary, it scared me a bit, the fact that this man has such influence. I'm like, oh my God, why is he saying that we could be attacked by aliens? They're already here. They're already here. They're already working with the military. It's not, ooh, the aliens are going to come. We are so far past that, friend. We are so far past that. We really are. Now, I want to make sure that I am telling you everything. But I wanted to say as well, getting back to you and your childhood, or even young adults, you know, because every single one of us, I believe, has had the opportunity to witness, be part of something paranormal, something off planet, because our soul is guiding us there. Our soul is guiding us to truth all of the time. You know, if you are stuck and locked in to a religion that doesn't let you breathe, if you are locked and stuck into a religion that you've heard from birth, especially if you're a girl, in like some of the Asians, and you know, it's a fact on earth. If you are stuck and you're not allowed to think, and you have been told you are less than, you know, it's going to be all right. You know, it's going to be all right. There's a freedom that you have a natural birthright to on every level. And as we disclose the lies and the people that run the planet for who they truly are, a majority of them being in cahoots to keep us enslaved and keep us down and keep us scared and making up lies, big old lies. Food storage in England last week, it was all I heard was, oh, the food crisis and the energy crisis. These are psyops. These are words put into the masses to scare people. You know, in England, you know what they do? every year, every winter. They know people are going to die of freezing cold. They know that in Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. And every year there's a certain amount of old people, your grandparents. My mum told me the other day that there was a man up north in England who had terrible pneumonia. And finally, both him and his wife were found dead. He died of the pneumonia, and she froze to death lying on the floor beside him. Yeah. Oh, just another 2 old people dead, right? No, wrong. We are living longer and longer. You have been lied to on so many levels, but I'm not going to get into all the levels here. I just want you to be thinking about you, beautiful you. Even if you hate my face, that's fine too. We're on a journey of discovery. We need to stop fighting each other. We need to understand that we're all individually healing, and people are going to trigger us. But let's bring our evidence. Let's bring our proof. Let's bring our stories. Another story I wanted to tell you very quickly was, and again, my parents can back both these up. I'm like, Mom, Dad, come on my channel. Come and talk about the TR3B. Come and talk about the men that followed us into the cemetery. My mom's like, no, no, no. I'm like, it's okay, Mom, I get it. I don't want to be, particularly on the public scene either, because my gosh, the arrows are pretty painful, and the slanderings and the terrible things, the lies of the attacks are really, really, yeah, it's been really shocking, but it is what it is. Part of me must have signed up for it somewhere. But anyway, again, getting back to your childhood, who you've been, who you are, there is a time where Mom and Dad and my brothers and I were in the car Sunday again, and we were looking for a tombstone in a churchyard. It gave them something to keep us focused on, because it's actually so boring going for a run in the car, right? You sit in the back of the car, driving around the countryside, you're 6 or 7 years old. It is so hard to sit still and not punch your brother, right? Punch your brother, then your mum leans back and gives you a slap. That's what happened in our car. Anyway, we get to this churchyard, and we're looking for this famous sea captain. His gravestone is very elaborate gravestones in England. They're all ancient, they're massive, and we're all standing looking at this gravestone. We're all in a line. And all of a sudden, I felt this chill in the air. And then my mum was this side and my dad was this side, and the boys were in between. And something was just wrong. And again, you don't expect to see your parents frightened, because they are your guardians. They're your everything. And then all of a sudden, my mom starts to panic, and they're shuffling me and my brothers like away from the tombstone. And I look round, and there were 2 men, but they weren't men, and they weren't human. These 2 really weird, odd looking, masculine, but they were twins. They were identical. And they were identical. They're wearing shirts, ties, that we call them tank tops, but cut off sweaters. We call sweaters jumpers. So sleeveless sweaters. And they were standing there with binoculars right behind us, like 3 feet away. How weird is that? And they were looking. And when one went like that, the other moved with him at the same time. And they were looking. And I remember my spine being scanned, and my sternum, and the base of my brain, and just not knowing, but knowing that something was really, really bad. Something was so wrong. And then when my parents freaked out, and they ushered us into the church, and there was a lady in there. She had a can of Mr. Sheen, Pledge furniture polish, and my nan used to use that, my grandma. And the lady's polishing the wooden pews, and she's all startled because we come racing in. My dad's like, is there another way out? Anyway, we got out of another door, and then in the car they were trying to calm us down. But it really, really disturbed me. It really disturbed me. And then I forgot about it, because you do, sometimes you do. And sometimes these memories come back. And I realized, without being dramatic, that those men, they were reptilians, and they were there to find me. They were there to observe me. And my parents said, they knew that those men had come to take one of the children, but they didn't get me. My dad is a Highlander, Sutherlandshire and tongue. He's a champion bagpipe player. He will hand you all your butts. on a plate. Didn't mess with the Highlanders, man. Didn't mess with the Highlanders. What do you think you're doing? Anyway, again, this is another gentle, like drip, drip, drop, drop. Remember your stories, go back into them. Don't make them up, don't elaborate on them, but feel, is it cellular memory? Is it true, or is it a screen memory? These are things that you have an opportunity now to discover for yourselves. And remember, the greatest conference on planet Earth is October the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So much of what will be shared on stage cannot be shared online. You have never heard this information. And also, you have never seen some of the technology that will be available to you to sample, to try, such as a med bed. Now, don't go into, it's going to replace my limb that I lost in the war. It's going to repair my harmed liver. No, we make no such promise. What I am promising you to your faces is that you will see technology at the conference that you've never seen before, and you will get to see it, to understand how it works, to try certain things out. We will have an actual medical bed at the conference. Chris O'Connor and Larry Bayshaw will be there with their technology for you to observe and to try. So that's as far as I can share there. We will also have other personnel on stage. I'm not to say the names yet, but when I have permission on all levels, then I most certainly will. But there is a particular man that many of you know and love. He has been in the disclosure community since way before 2001. He's well respected. He's former naval at a very high level. He will be on the stage and he will be sharing frill energy, how to generate, how to harness. This is the year. This is the year. We're already in it. We're already on it. I'm so excited. I'm excited for me. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for our children, for our communities, for our families. Oh my God, it makes me so emotional. I'm just so excited for all of us. I really am. And let's keep going. Let's keep standing shoulder to shoulder, and then as the groups get splintered apart, as people jump in and attack, it's all right. We've just got to keep on moving through. If we are focused on truth, we are focused on reality. If we really look at why am I doing this? Why am I on this mission? Then all you need to know is what your own internal answer is. Okay. Now, in terms of your awakening, your apotheosis, your recovery, your mission, your this, your that, I will be reopening my diary to take clients for therapy sessions, for spiritual mentoring sessions. And the process for this will be to email info@Galactic Spiritual Informers. Info@Galactic Spiritual Informers, and then you will be vetted, and then you will be invited to apply to have a session with me. Sorry about that palaver, but I took my clinic down after being really quite disturbed by two particular people who were and still are determined to throw us off course in disclosure. So this is the way that I've come up, because so many email like, Dani, can I have a session with you? And it's not fair. It's not fair on me. It's not fair on you. So, and I'm here to support you as part of that. So info@Galactic Spiritual info@galacticspiritualinformers.com, and then we will take it from there. Now, over the next few weeks, I have a lot more information to be bringing you. I'm going to be bringing beautiful people back that you know and that you love in the disclosure community. Also working and delivering information from other beautiful people here. I'm also going to be speaking with a beautiful man called Dave. Really excited, just confirmed that yesterday. And he is somebody who really has an in-depth insight into different technologies on our planet to enhance humanity. And I'm really excited to get together with him and discuss more of his beautiful knowledge, and also have some confirmations on who the scientists watch. And I'll tell you, Elena Danan is one such person. So sending you lots and lots of love. And also in the comments section under this broadcast, put in who you would like me to speak with. I'm bringing Kathy O'Brien back too. She's coming back. We messaged yesterday, I think. She's so lovely. And also I'm bringing Gloria Masters, and we're going to be bringing the help, the signal that the children, all your kids need to know the signal to protect themselves, because there's such an attention on the children. Again, another broadcast for another time. Sorry if I forget your name right now. There's a lot to be said, and I didn't mean for this broadcast to go on quite so long. So checking, I've mentioned Elena Denan, Michael Sala, Chris O'Connor, myself, Tony, the conference, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, 3 days, 3 nights. One of the nights, Friday night, psychic medium, British psychic medium, Nikki Allen, will be standing on stage in the evening. So if you're not somebody who's interested in psychic medium or spiritual phenomena, it's not for you. It's part of your ticket. It's free. She'll be on stage for 2 hours telling you how to connect to heaven, how to connect to your loved ones, how to open more of your spiritual pathways, and she'll be giving messages to you directly. Which would be beautiful. On the Saturday night, there's a dinner and a disco. That is a separate ticket because the hotels are so expensive. But, I want to put that on for you that want to play and connect and sit down and have dinner with other audience members, because we need to connect with these people. But also, if none of that is appealing, there's 3 nights outside at the fire pit. There's a huge fire pit, a huge courtyard area at the Doubletree Hilton Hotel at the Universal entrance. I mean, the Universal Park is across the street and a mile or 2 away. But, America, everything's so big and exaggerated. But this hotel, I picked it because of the windows and the light that comes in. And the area outside is so nice, so casual. And there's a pool and a gym, of course, and really good little restaurants there for great pizzas and things. If you don't have the pocket, I tried to think of everything that would be to the benefit of everyone that came. And some of the greatest stories that came out of last year was those of you that socialized around the fire pit and you really found your tribe and you vibed with your tribe. And that's so important. So if the disco is not for you, and the dinner, and then Nikki Allen on the Friday night is not your thing, just go outside, take a drink, sit down and communicate. And plus you'll be with them all day anyway in the audience. So the audience are just as important as the speakers on stage. Just as important, because you have experiences and knowledge and love, and when you come into a room and you resonate, oh my God, we create minimum 4D love, 4-dimensional love, 4th density love, and you could feel it. I was blown away. I and many others were blown away last year. So I will leave that with you. If you want to book a session with me, opening my diary mid-June, the first line is to go to info@Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection. And my name is Dani Henderson. I send you so much love. We are so close to the liberation on many levels. But the first thing to think about is the liberation of you, of yourself. Don't look outside. Don't admire, and to the extent that you're not focusing here on your healing, you are so important. And, if you don't accept that, then that's your journey. It's your journey. But I would stand in front of the mirror if I'm you and I'm healing, and I would tell myself, I love you. I am worthy. I am valuable. And I have something to say, All right, lots of love. I will see you soon, and take care out there.